I was thinking the other day that one of the most important things when programming or doing anything really is to enter what's called the flow state, or what others call being in the zone. So basically, it's when you're doing deep work and it feels like time just flies by. And this time and age, it's just hard to do it. It's you have too many distractions. You have social media. You got emails, messages, phone notifications, computer notifications when you're working, and it can be hard to concentrate, to focus on one thing. So the way I usually enter my flow state is on my phone. I just mute all notifications, no sounds at all. I still get the notifications, but you can silence all the sounds and just put your phone with the screen facing down. And on my computer, I have all notifications turned off. All the sounds that the computer normally makes when you get like an email or a message, I turned all that off. I don't want to hear anything, nothing that will take my attention from what I'm actually working on at the moment. So if I get an email, I don't want to know anything about that email until I actually have a block of time to look at my emails. So you get all the notifications of, maybe you have let's say at your company, if you need to respond to messages in a timely manner, you could have like an animation notification instead of sound. So you silence everything so you can still focus on what you're doing. But if you see like a small pop-up or a small animation like on the Macs, you can make the logo just jump, the icon of the app jump. And I mean, it's still annoying, to look at it when you're working on something else, but it's less annoying than getting the annoying Slack sound or like an email sound notification. It's just terrible, and it just breaks off your flow completely. But when you are, when you don't hear the sound, at least for me, it's way better. Now, taking the basic distractions out of the way, I think of anything that can still make me stand up. Like if I need water, I'll go and get my water bottle filled up. And if I need something else, whatever, if I need a pen, if I need a notebook, I'll have it on hand. I'll just think about what I'm gonna do and I'll bring everything I'll need. So that's something else that helps you to enter into the flow state. Once you get everything you need, everything that will make you stand up, then you can check your tasks. You can check your to-do list. Then get the priority on your tasks, and that way you can start on whatever is the most important, and then just start at it. Go at it. Once you get started, it'll take about 5 to 15 minutes to enter the flow. At least that's for me. Don't take me on the numbers, because that can be different for each person. But for me, it takes about 5 minutes, and on the worst days, it takes about 15 minutes. It depends if I'm rested, if I slept well. And I try to keep the flow state as long as possible. 3-4 hours usually. I try to do, I do 9 to 5, the usual day. So I try to keep my flow state from like 9 something, 9:15, 9:30, depending on if I had a chat in the morning or a meeting. I try to keep it up to 12 or 1 if possible. And that's super deep work. My best work is in the morning before I even eat anything, because By then I haven't had breakfast yet. It's just I'm still fasting. I just drink water and focus on whatever I have in front of me, and it works wonderful pretty much. And I know there is going to be days that you feel like you don't want to do anything. It's completely normal. I've had those days too. And what you have to do, or what I do, is a task can be, adding a new module to like a CMS or whatever, and that module obviously has a lot of small tasks. So you divide your task into smaller pieces, and then you work on a simple part of it. So you don't have to think too much about it, because your brain doesn't want to get started on it. It just wants to mindlessly scroll on social media or just Google weird things. It's just the best thing you can do is just start with something that won't have much friction, which will be a very simple task. Just get started on something. So you take the task that has priority, and then you divide it into smaller steps. You get started on the first one, and eventually you'll get more traction. You'll feel like you want to look at you want to watch something, or you want to do something else, but you have to resist the temptation. Just resist it a few times, and once you go past that, you'll enter the flow state. And once you enter that, you're like an unstoppable machine. You're gonna tackle your work. Just go at it like a machine, and you'll even be surprised by how fast the time goes once you enter the flow state. And that's one of the things that I like the most, that you do a lot of work and what seems no time at all. Like 8 hours can seem like 4, or something like that. It just goes by fast. Sometimes 4 hours can feel like 1. It's just incredible. I'd say that's the best thing you can do. You get more things done in the same amount of time. You always work the same hours. So if you're working 8 hours a day, but you can get more things done because of the flow state, I'd say that's the way to go. You're more efficient. You get more things done, so that means that your pipeline will be emptier. You might even have time for personal things, just because you get things done fast. And that's something that I'd say you have to take advantage of. Like, why would you go slower and shoot yourself on the foot because now maybe you have to stay over, or now you're behind on the deadline, and it's just not convenient. Not for it, it's not convenient for you, not convenient for anyone really. So I'd say give it a try if you haven't, and if you have, just give your tips on how you enter the flow state, because not everyone enters the flow state the same way, and any tips can help everyone else. So I'll see you guys until next time.